Hello, I'm David Lambin, and I live in Gardnerville, Nevada, and I've been here for some 16 years. Almost all of my life I've carried a certain amount of health, extra weight. Um, used to remember some jokes that even my grandmother used to have when I was sitting on a bench at a swimming center, and having little rolls. But there have been other times when I've done pretty well. Uh, but I've got issues now, as I'm 58 years old, and I've gone through some tough times financially with my business, and they've kind of taken a toll on my weight. And I guess my biggest goal in life is to set myself up for those golden years where I'm actually going to be thinner, healthier, and prepared to take on some of the illnesses and the foibles, the physical foibles that come to you at as you get older. And some of the questions here was, in my opinion, eating healthy means being conscious of what I'm eating and making more intelligent choices. At 58 years old, I know what I need to eat. I just don't always do it. And I guess that answers the second question, and it's my biggest challenges to eating healthy are convenience, some of the efforts that it takes to prepare the meal, and avoiding the things that are kind of the culprits and kind of the indulgences. Top tips for eating healthier are making a plan, and then avoiding, and like in your kitchen, just keeping the food away. And when you get tired, go to bed. Don't graze. My top tips for feeding my family healthy foods are, again, planning. Shopping at a moment in time when I'm not hungry myself and subject to indulgences. And then thinking about them and what kind of issues I have that I don't want them to have. In a day, I typically eat fairly poorly. Sometimes I have a breakfast, sometimes I don't. Usually I have a lunch, but that's because my wife will leave it for me. Dinner is, when the family gets together and we eat. And in the middle, most of the time I ignore everything. And yet, I still gain weight. When I was growing up, in a day, I typically ate, I'd have breakfast, I'd walk to the train to go to school, I'd have a lunch that was a sandwich or two, a cup of yogurt maybe, a soda pop on top of it. And when I'd get home, maybe we'd go out, we'd have a couple of burgers at a McDonald's or a Burger King or something. Those were big in the day. I ate a lot. And at that particular time that I'm thinking about, I maintained a certain trim. I wasn't thin, but I wasn't heavy. When I was in my poorest health, in a day I typically ate next to nothing. I got up, I had coffee, I got to work, I had coffee, I looked at the clock, it was lunchtime, but I had more to do, I kept going. Then I'd look at the clock, it was 6 o'clock, time to go home. 7 o'clock I'd get home. And then I'd probably eat the biggest meal. It was the only meal of the day, but it was a huge meal. And at that moment in time, those were the times when I was the biggest I've ever been in my life. My top 3 reasons for eating packaged processed foods: convenience, taste, and convenience again. They were easy to put together, they were easy to clean up after, and generally the taste was such, maybe money. It seems like it should cost less to eat something out of a box, whereas you have to buy everything and combine it otherwise. I decided I needed to improve my diet because I was pushing 300 pounds. I'd never been over 300 pounds. And I decided that that was the moment in time when I really needed to go. I've been diabetic or diagnosed as being diabetic, and things just, in my life, they were tough. But yeah, the I got on the scale. I came back from a business trip. I looked on the scale. I was 298.9, and just that was it. I needed to change. Something needed to change. Healthy food is approximately, it's easily 50% of my diet now. Might be 75%. I don't eat a lot of desserts any longer. I don't eat a lot of cookies and cake because I just don't buy them to put them in the house. They show up, and when they do, I indulge. But I try to avoid having them on hand. The person responsible for purchasing and preparing food in my household is, for the most part, my wife. I probably come in second, and my kids probably definitely third and fourth, tied for last. But my wife takes good care of us. The best result I've gotten from eating healthier is that I have more energy. And by having more energy, I have more opportunity of being more attentive to my wife and participating more with my kids in the things that they do. When I eat more healthy foods, I feel more energetic. My favorite food indulgence, probably red Twizzlers, juicy fruits. I mean, is there any more sugar in a candy than those two? Red wine, which they tell me is healthy, but red wine is part of it. And but I do love a good steak. And going to a restaurant where everything is prepared and put out, we try not to do that nearly as often as we used to. But when we do, it's a moment in time to just go and enjoy it. But again, I'm looking for changes in my life. I've lost about 25 pounds from my high, but I need to do more, and I need to be more attentive and more conscientious, and it has to become more of a life change. It can't continue to be something I have to think about. My dad died when he was 66 of a massive heart attack. I don't want to go there. So his cholesterol was off the chart, yet he didn't really talk to people about it. His idea of a diet was eating less. But that was less steak and less mashed potatoes with butter. And he did lose a little bit of weight, but I'm sure the insides didn't improve nearly as much as the outside did. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Have a good day.